Canada, where a protest by Khalistanis near a Hindu temple in Brampton has escalated into violence, with attendees of the temple reportedly being attacked, including women and children. The incident has prompted widespread condemnation from various political leaders, including Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Meanwhile, the Indian High Commission in Canada has also condemned the violent disruptions by anti-India elements outside and consular camp in Brampton and raised concerns over the safety of Indian nationals in the country. Joining us at this point of time is Ambassador K.P. Fabian, former Foreign Secretary. So thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX. Not the first time that a Hindu temple has been attacked in Canada, but this time the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has condemned the attack. He has condemned violence that was orchestrated by Khalistanis. Do you think he's going to act on his word?
Let me put it this way, words and deeds should coincide. In fact, Justin Trudeau even went to another Hindu temple and all that. But, and he spoke. But I'm afraid that his words and deeds do not coincide, because in the present case of Brampton, the Consulate General had advised the Canadian authorities about the event and also about the likely threats from the Khalistani elements. So therefore, it was incumbent on the government in Canada to take appropriate action, and they have failed to do that. So it's not enough to make statements. You should carry out your responsibilities seriously, which the government of Canada has so far failed to do.
Right, absolutely. Now, of course, earlier the RCMP had made bold statements saying that it's India that has in fact it's targeted the Khalistanis in Canada. This development taking place, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau also saying that this is unacceptable and people should be allowed to practice their faith on Canadian soil. With that being said, do you think there's going to be some international, are there going to be any countries worldwide that are also going to condemn these attacks that have taken place?
Well, to start with, it does not make much sense for Canada to say that India has been targeting Khalistanis in Canada, because the point is that whether India has targeted them or not, it doesn't detract from Canadian government's responsibility. You cannot mix up things. Okay, so to advance an argument shows that the RCMP is not being honest. Secondly, I also want to draw your attention to something personal, not that I want to talk so much about it. I was attacked by the Khalistanis way back in 1984 in Winnipeg, and no action was taken against them by the then Canadian government. I did not, of course, ask them to take any action, because it was for them to take action without my asking. All that they did was, the Foreign Office tried, but the RCMP resisted, and finally the Foreign Office got me a letter of personal apology from the Prime Minister of the day.
Right, so absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. But, on that note, I'd also like to understand from you, from 1984 when you were attacked to now in 2024, do you think things have changed for the better or the worse? How do you view the assessment today?
I'm afraid I cannot say that things have changed for the better, because for reasons which are not good enough, the government of Canada, including the RCMP, maintain a soft corner towards the Khalistanis. And they argue that it's a question of freedom of expression. Now that argument is wrong, because freedom of expression means that Khalistanis can publicly speak asking for Khalistan. When I was in Canada, I did not take objection to it. What mattered was their threatening violence against the Indian diplomatic missions or State Bank of India or Air India. That is what mattered, and that is what I had brought to their notice. And I had pointed out to them that, their reference the freedom of expression was not relevant at all.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.